Hey everyone, today I wanted to share some tips and tricks with selecting different data cells and data ranges in Excel. They're very useful hotkeys. They will save you a lot of time. The first one I want to share with you is Control Home. So if you hit Control Home, they will take the cell, they'll select the very first cell in that worksheet. So it doesn't matter where you are on the worksheet, you hit Control Home, and it will go right to that first cell in the worksheet. Inversely of that, the next tip would be Control End. And what that's going to do, you'll see it went to some random cell, H54. This is the last cell, both by horizontal and vertical or column and row, whichever the last cell was after that cell that had been previously worked on. So I might have formatted or done something in G53, and so what it's doing is it's taking that next cell and it's going right after that. So again, the Control Home, take me home, and then if I hit Control End, it's taking me to the very end of the worksheet. The next tip that I want to share is to select a cell in a set or a data range. So what I'm going to show you is it's Control and the arrow key. So let's say you have this group of data here, and you want to go to the very bottom of the group of data. What you can do is if you hit Control, down arrow, it's going to take you all the way to the bottom. Well, it will take you as far down until there's a space. So if you have a space in your data, it's going to take you there. If you hit Control down arrow again, we'll just keep doing that until you come down to your very bottom cell there. So you can do the same thing. If you want to go to the very top of the data range, you hit Control, up arrow, and it will move up until you again see the next blank in your data set. If you hit Control up again, it will go all the way up or as far up as it can. So you can do that to easily move through data ranges by hitting that Control up arrow or Control down arrow. You can also do that to move horizontally. So if you hit Control left arrow, it will take you to the far left of your data range, or Control right arrow, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to take you to the end of your data range or until there's a gap in the data. But again, if you hit Control over, it will skip over that blank and go to the next cell with data, and you can navigate from there. So very, very useful there. Something very similar is if you use Shift up and down, it will select multiple cells with data in it. So you can go up and down and it will select whatever you'd like. If you're going horizontal, or excuse me, if you're going vertically, and then you're holding Shift and you go left, it will do the exact same thing, but it's going to select all of the cells of data within that range. So if you hit Control Shift, let's say we're in cell B3 here, we can hit Shift right arrow and it's going to go one by one, cell by cell to the right. If you want to go down, you can do down as well. So you can easily select all the data. You can hit Control C and copy and paste or whatever you're going to do. Something else you can do is if you hit Shift over key, it will do the same thing, but if you hit Control and Shift, it will, previous to the tip I shared before, it will go to the end of a data range while selecting all the cells. So you can do, again, Control Shift to the right, and it will take you to the first gap or blank cell. And then if you hit it again, it will skip over that. So you can do that horizontally, but it will do the same thing vertically. So if you hit Control Shift down arrow, it will again go down to the first blank cell. So in our far left column here, that would be row 8 there, but we can just get past that and can continue to hit Control Shift down arrow and select as much of the data as we would like. So a super helpful tip there to easily select large groups. So one other thing that's going to make life easy as we're trying to select data is if you hit, kind of similar to the arrow keys, if you hit Control Shift, and let's say you want to get to the very beginning of the worksheet, you can hit Control Shift Home, and it's going to select everything from where you are up until that first cell that was being used. If you want to do the very end, you can just do the same thing, Control Shift End, and it's going to select everything to the last cell that's been worked on in the worksheet. So very easy to select those multiple data ranges or pieces of data. So let's say, we start off in the middle and we've done Control Shift End, so we've got everything on the back end, but if we go ahead and hit Control Shift Home, it's going to select it will kind of do the opposite where it's going to select everything to the end and all the way to the beginning. So super easy. You can easily copy all of the data that you have been working with. And again, you can just copy that, paste it, whatever you need to do, but it's an easy way to highlight and select all of that data. One other thing that I wanted to share with you guys on how to select or highlight a large data range is if you hit Ctrl+A. Ctrl+A is going to just highlight all of the data within a certain area. So it's going to highlight, it's going to go to the left and to the right. It's going to select that whole group of data there. So makes it nice and easy. Ctrl+A, I use this very, very frequently. So again, that's just, you hit it Ctrl+A and it's going to select your whole, if you're in a table or a range of data, it's going to select that whole range of data. But let's say you want to select a whole worksheet. If you hit Ctrl+A once and then Ctrl+A again, it's going to select everything that's on that worksheet. So it's not going to go to the home, it's not going to go to the end, it's just going to select every single cell. Again, that's, you just hit Ctrl+A once and then Ctrl+A again. And that second Ctrl+A is going to copy the entire worksheet. So again, all of these tips and tricks have saved me a lot of time in being able to move around a worksheet and copy and highlight cells. And so something that I highly recommend you kind of learn and start to utilize to save some time yourself. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions, and please subscribe to the Excel Guy.